Hello everyone, today we are having a look at the Call of Duty The Board Game Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign. And why? Well, I've just jumped in. Yeah, it's only got 8 days to go and it's not funding as huge as I thought a Call of Duty board game would. In fact, for a long period of time, despite being a lover of the game, the video game, I played literal days worth of time on the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the Call of Duty 4. I have actual days on multiple accounts for that game. That's how much I loved that game, and yet I still wasn't really diving into this. They showed so much content. We'll go through some of these bits that I'm zooming past, but they've shown so much content, and yet only now is it getting interesting for me, this campaign. So let's have a look. Let's put this picture here. So what is this all about? It's mostly, although it does expand, a 1v1 game. And I was thinking, okay, that sounds cool. Player screens, so you're doing stuff behind it. Fantastic, but it's not really grabbing me. Now, however, they have released a demo of it on Tabletopia. Now, I don't think it's as good as Tabletop Simulator, but putting that aside, I was able, with my friend Ed, to jump in and demo the game. And while it was a bit clunky getting on with Tabletopia, the gameplay still shone through. And the awkward bits of moving components and flipping cards and the rolling of the dice, which looks horrific on Tabletopia, take all of that out, all those negative parts out, and actually the game is really, it seems really good from the demo. It's not just a video of watching someone else play. I've effectively played a prototype build of this game because they've released that Tabletopia demo, and I highly recommend you go and give it a go. Even if the rulebook isn't perfectly written and stuff like that, there's a few bits that are clearly still going to be changed, like how you do 2v2 and free-for-alls, and there's literally nothing about the 6-player and other game modes. It's mostly just focused on the capture the flag mode, which is less capture the flag and more like a flag control point, because you are getting to that flag rather than getting your opponents and running it back. But regardless, you've got these cool maps, and they've done a really good design choice on it in terms of there's loads of colourful lines, so you can just see along here these red lines, and that indicates line of sight. Super simple. When you're playing, you know if you're seeing your opponent or not, but you're planning all your actions out. 4 actions, so you're like, I'm going to move to this point looking this direction, then it doesn't matter if I'm looking that direction, I can still move in a different direction to the next point, and this is where I'm going to aim. Maybe that's when you slot in an item, and I'm going to throw my grenade over there, because I think that's roughly the area they're going to be in. You plan your 4 actions, or your 4 movements. Sometimes you can stop and aim down sights, so you might have less, but 4 of them. Then they play out simultaneously between the 2 players. And I was like, okay, I'm seeing how this is going behind my screen. I'm enjoying this part. And then it plays out, and you're like, oh, this is annoyingly good, because it plays out. Sometimes you'll go like, oh, they're running this way round, I've sprinted the other way around. Oh, we're both going for the flag. Yes, we've just seen each other. We enter combat. And that's where the game, it gets good. It's so fast. You play a combat card, and that's going to basically determine, maybe gives you a little boost, like you're a bit quicker than your opponent, or just helps you aim, but maybe it doesn't do as much damage, or conversely, maybe it does loads of damage, but doesn't help you in any way for the combat. You then choose your pool of dice. Am I rolling aims? Am I rolling damage? But that doesn't help me aim, so I need to make sure I do hit first, otherwise they're useless. They're the aggression dice. And then some sort of cover dice, which is like your agility, but it's almost like, are you crouched down, so you're harder to hit almost. You roll those, but you're choosing how many of each of them to take in, because you've got 7 dice. You roll them, you work out, are you hitting? Yes. How much damage does my weapon do based on my aim? Did I have any tactical advantage in terms of, was I aiming in the right direction before we entered combat? If you're looking over there, but your opponent's over there, you might still be in combat, or you will potentially still be in combat, but you're not going to get that bonus of looking the right way or on target. And that is so quick. Like, so you're working out how much damage you're doing, who wins that combat. The other person, one person is eliminated. The other person then might be wounded if they did enough damage. Basically, if you're within 5 damage, you are inflicting a wound even though you're out, and you're trying to, then you're like getting points for your kill streaks or your score, trying to claim that flag and all of that sort of goodness. Now, I was a little worried when I originally looked at the campaign. I was like, okay, it's great, I can see that the boxes have this much stuff in them. I'm not seeing my value. I'm not seeing why should I back this on Kickstarter, and I'm not seeing why I would be paying like $50 for a box. Because in a box you'd get Ghost and Shepherd, for instance, the 2 characters, and they'd both have 1 weapon. Well, that's great, but maybe and I'll just keep scrolling down so you can see a little more bits, and 1 map, and it's like, okay, so if I get 1 box, that's how much I expect to pay, yes, because you've got the license and all that, but give me another weapon, give me another character, give me another map. And the recent update did that. Not only are they doing like a promo Kickstarter exclusive box, so people are going to be getting extra maps and items for backing, so there's my value for pledging now, they're also going to double side those boards in the main boxes. So even at retail, when this gets there, I think this will be a good value, because you will have 2 maps in each box. You know, flip it over, you've got a new map, and that's a great touch. I really am glad they did that, and if anything, that is what actually got me to back. All of a sudden, we're getting double the amount of maps if we're just getting a core box, or if I'm backing for the 4-player stuff. Basically, it means I'm getting both core boxes and a few extra bits, but that means instead of 2 maps from just the core boxes, I'm getting 4 maps from the core boxes and a promo one from that special Kickstarter box as well for backing. Yeah, it's all starting to come together to sort of intrigue me. You've got all these combat cards, and I like the fact they're adding extras, but more importantly, they're also adding stuff like item cards. So grenades, there's flashbangs, and I'd highly recommend going and watching some of these videos. But let's have a look. So this hasn't actually fully been updated, but depending on which box you get, you're going to get 2 characters. They're pre-painted, which is quite nice. You're going to get all of the bits, all of the dice, all of these different items and tokens and stuff. And again, I really like these plotting tokens, because it makes it really obvious I'm moving to this space and I'm aiming down this direction. It might not be perfect on Tabletopia, but it certainly would be in real life, because you can just be like, it's pointing down this line, that's where I'm aiming. This is then where they've not really updated this graphic, because depending on which box you get, I'm getting both of them. You'll either get Kill House or Shoot House. They're going to have a reverse side, and that is huge, I think. I honestly think that is huge. And again, it needs more guns. It needs more characters. Like, yeah, I get it that you've got 2 characters in the box and you've got the 2 minis. Okay, that's fine. But give me more guns. So it's not just, oh, I've got the M4 this time and you've got the AK. Now let's swap the guns around. No, give it like 4 weapons in each of these core boxes. That's the only extra thing I think they can do to just, again, bump up the replayability from those core boxes without, you know, just combining them and selling them as one, making a massive loss on this. But I think just an extra weapon, which is going to be available, they're going to get them in those stretch goals, in that promo box. So they are going to happen. But, you know, hopefully the more people that back, the more they'll actually add. Item cards, again, they could do with adding maybe an extra item in each. I do find it's a little annoying, if anything, the way they've lined some of this out. It says you're getting 4 item cards, but they're not actually showing what items. Are you getting frag grenades and proximity mines in both, or are they slightly different? I'd like to know. They've not really released details on that, but again, give us a flashbang. Give us, so many different grenade options or whatever. I'm sure they could come up with stuff. So this is the version I'm going for, the 4-player one. And yeah, I'm excited about this. I want to be playing that Tabletopia demo again. Hopefully, in fact, tonight I will be getting another playthrough with it, with all of the items, because the first time we sort of fudged the basic rules, then we went into the sort of advanced rules, which is like being able to reload, which is drawing more cards up and kill streaks, etc. Now we're up to speed on it after only a few quick games, and they're so quick because it's like plot your actions, do them, right, combat, someone's dead, someone's respawning in the next round, go 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 go. So it's fast. I think they've certainly, in the last few updates, they've really upped this. And yeah, you can go all in and get a stupid amount of content. I'm still slightly tempted to, even though that price tag is redonkulous. But just the sheer amount of it in terms of, I'm glad they've made the choices they have. I think Arcane Wonders could have quite easily gone, yep, this is funding, yep, people are happy. But they kind of are super happy now, because extra maps, extra items, extra weapons, and some extra operators, the characters as well. I think it all is building together to be a much better game with a lot more variety. And as soon as you've got extra maps, and I'm really hoping there's one of the map options in the vote, one of them is Rust and one of them is Shipment. I really hope they're the two that get chosen, because to me they've got a lot of nostalgia to them. So it'll be a fun new board game with fun fast combat and some nostalgia. It's a deadly mix to my wallet anyway. Even Nuketown, I'm tempted to buy this, even though this is the 5 and 6 player expansion. I don't think I'd ever be able to play this game with that many people, but this map for me, also from Modern Warfare 2 originally, a lot of hype on that. I'd be tempted to get it just to have the option to play that map. Yes, there's so many, look, we get scrolling, so many different things, so many potential stretch goals. I'd just say 100% you can now check it out on Tabletopia, and it is just a really good way of demoing it to see if it's for you. And I said this to my friend Ed at the time, it's almost annoying, because I thought, oh, I'm not going to back it, but I'll give it a go just so I can say I've played it. And then when I played it, I was like, oh, I kind of want this in the collection. So let's just show you, if you're interested, a quick turn. So let's go. Right, so I'm going to move this direction, aiming down here. They probably won't have got there yet, though. Let's go down here, and we can... This is where it gets a bit funky, because it's... No, that's the wrong way. There we go. We're aiming down that way, because we're going to assume that our opponents come this way. And then we'll... Ooh, let's go... No. Let's say, actually, we think they're going to have gone in to get the flag. So we'll get there eventually, don't worry. Right, so surely that... There we go. Now we're going to aim downwards, because maybe they went that way. And then we're going to... There we go. We're going to aim that way towards the flag. And then we'd play that out. So we'd move here. Maybe the opponent did move this way. We then move up, aiming towards them. They moved, but they were aiming in. All of a sudden we trigger combat. We're going to actually have one of these cards. Say we're using this, we're going to be starting to roll dice, so we've got the opportunities there, but we're getting a bonus because we're aiming in the right direction, and different things like that. We've also got a bit of cover on the board here, because we're peeking round the corner, but we have that line of sight because we're in along that light blue line. All in all, it's so quick, and then it's like, oh, they're eliminated, but they're going to be respawning next time. We can choose whether we want to finish our movement or not, and then you're going again for the next round. Look, we got a point, and then we've also got a kill streak if we're using those. So let's flip that over and flip that over like we're doing the advanced mode. All of a sudden we're like, yes, we have got 1 kill for our kill streak. Maybe we're going to be using, let's flip this one over, let's say we've got the RCXD car. So yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I'd highly recommend, if you're even on the fence, check this demo out. I did, and well, I've now spent a lot of money backing it. So that's Call of Duty, the board game, and why I am almost annoyed that it was as good as it was, because the demo showed me, even with the fiddliness of this Tabletopia demo, that this is something I want in my collection. Anyway, until next time, that was the Call of Duty board game, and have a brilliant day gaming.